Hey, friends all over the world. I want to share this with you, and please hear me clearly. You must never, ever, ever do this again for the rest of your life, as long as you're breathing, as long as you have life inside of you, as long as your mind is still functioning properly. Please, this is for your benefit. What I want to share with you, you have to hear, because this can actually save your life. You must never, ever do this again for the rest of your life. Please heed this. Please heed this. Here it is, friends. Listen to me carefully. Never, ever, as long as you have breath, try to get people to understand you. Don't do it. Never explain yourself. You see, let me tell you something. My whole life, I dealt with a spirit of rejection. And because I dealt with a spirit of rejection, my idol was acceptance. I was constantly trying to get people to accept me. And as a result of this idolatry, people's opinion of me was my most important goal. I needed to know that people thought a certain way about me. But friends, this is very serious what I'm saying. Never, ever try to explain yourself or try to clarify a person's misconception of who you are. Let folk think what they want about you. Oh my God. Let people think. Never try to clear up a misconception about who you are to people. Never, for the rest of your life. Never. Stop doing this. Don't do this anymore. Stop trying to explain yourself. Stop trying to clear up a misconception about you, a mischaracterization about who you are to people who will not receive you anyway. They have already made up in their mind who you are. Let them believe that. There is nowhere in the scriptures that tells us that we need to explain ourselves to folks who have already made an assumption about who you are. I'll never forget, I was working in corporate America, and and I remember a woman, I think it was a woman, I don't even know, woman, I waved at a lady, and she had this nasty attitude toward me, and I said, is everything okay? Why are you behaving that way toward me? She says, I don't like you. And I said, but you don't know me. We don't know each other. You don't know anything about me. She says, I don't care that I don't know you. Whatever I think I know about you, I don't like you. And at the time, I was very perplexed and bewildered by this statement. I thought, how can a person not like you even though they don't know you? And here it is. You ready for this? Because a person's perception of you oftentimes has more to do with them than it does with you. Let me say this one more time, and a lot of you may not get this. Oftentimes, a person's perception of who you are has more to do with themselves than it does with you. Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. One of the things that I've learned, and I've learned this from very powerful fathers of the faith, and not just fathers of the faith, but I learned it from God directly. One of the things I learned is that people are going to think whatever they want about you. There are going to be some people that just don't like it. They don't have any reason to. They just don't like you. They don't need a justifiable reason. Now, I'm not talking about you out here going and burning bridges and doing crazy stuff. Then people probably will have a negative perception of you. But I'm talking about when you know who you are and somebody has mischaracterized you. When somebody has perceived you in a certain way and you don't believe that that perception is accurate, stop wasting your time trying to explain yourself. Do you know that sometimes the mischaracterization of you by people is a gift from God? Because God oftentimes does not want everybody to understand you. He doesn't want everybody to get you. He doesn't want everybody to accept you. He doesn't want everybody to embrace you. Sometimes rejection is protection. Okay? Sometimes rejection is protection. And many of you are crying that people aren't accepting you, crying that people aren't embracing you, crying that folks have talked about you, slandered you. That's one of the biggest blessings to your life and destiny. Because in your being isolated from those individuals, God was able to protect you from things that would have the potential to destroy your destiny. I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you, when I was coming up in school, there were folk that I tried to hang out with, and they would be like, no, don't hang out with us. No, don't hang out with us. Don't hang out with me. I don't want to be around you. And I was hurt and disappointed. A lot of those folks are in jail today. A lot of those people are dead today. Some of them who are alive have yet to walk in their calling. And what God was actually doing, he was using the mischaracterization of who I was, or in some cases, it is the proper characterization of who you are. Sometimes people reject you because they know they're dangerous for you. It's not even about you. You're taking it personal. Sometimes folks are trying to tell you, listen, if I get in your life, I'm going to destroy your life. And they tried to tell you. They've tried to warn you many times, and they're trying to give you a way out, but you're not listening because you're busy trying to prove something that does not need to be proven. My God, I'm telling you, God knows how to preserve his own. He knows how to protect his own. He knows how to keep his own. Never do this again where you're trying to negotiate with people about your worth. You're trying to tell people, no, I'm not really like that. If you just got to know me, I'm not really like that. And you're going back and forth with someone who will never see your worth. They will never see your value. They will never believe who you claim you are. They'll never buy it. They've already made up in their mind who you are, and there's nothing you can do to convince them otherwise. So why would you waste another breath trying to tell somebody who cannot be told who you really are? Oh, if folk just knew me, if they really knew, I'm really a nice person. I'm really a nice person. I just wish they knew I was. Why? For what? Who cares? Who cares? Let folk misunderstand you. Let people believe what they want to believe about you. That's not your responsibility to clear that up. I don't know who told us that we have to clear everything up. You don't have to clear everything. You, you don't have to clear everything up. You don't have to clear everything up. Everybody doesn't have to understand you. Everybody doesn't have to know your heart. You said, if they only knew my heart. Everybody's not supposed to know your heart. It's not for everybody. Your heart is not for everybody to see. It's not for everybody to embrace. Intimacy is not a luxury that everyone should get. Come on, somebody. So you trying to get random folk who really aren't worth a hill of beans a lot of time. Their opinion is not worth dookie. I know, forgive me, I shouldn't say that word. But their opinion is worth very little, and you're investing time and energy trying to convince this person, no, that's not who I really am. Learn how to let the chips fall where they may. If that's what you think about me, God bless you. Okay, that's your opinion about me. God bless you. It's not your job. You are not. Come on, you are not Dr. Phil to everybody. You are not, and so stop. Don't do this another day in your life. Don't do this another day in your life, trying to prove to folks who will not listen to you. They're not going to hear you. They're not going to hear you. There's nothing you can say to make them look at you any different than they do today. Nothing. You can write a thesis paper. You can tell them how you went on an Airbnb excursion with Mother Teresa, and you gave away food with John the Baptist. You can show them pictures of you rescuing kittens out of trees, and it won't change what they think about you. Because what they think oftentimes, now not all the time, but oftentimes, somebody say not all the time, but oftentimes, what they think about you oftentimes has more to do with them than it does with you. What they think oftentimes has more to do with them than it does with you. Some of us are trying to put a round peg in a square hole. You're trying to beat a round peg into a square hole. And you're frustrated. You're saying, why can't it fit? You weren't meant to fit everywhere. You were not meant to be embraced by everyone. Everybody's not going to get you. And if you are pursuing everyone understanding you, your pursuit is incorrect. And it will lead you down the path of disappointment, discouragement, and despair. See, the folk that need to understand you, God, they already understand you. The people that need to be with you, God's already given them the grace to look at you through the right lenses. Not only that, but even your flaws, even the things about you that are not good, or the things about you that are not that acceptable, God has prepared a remnant of people for you who can deal with your weaknesses and your limitations. So for you to try to make everybody, you want everybody to like you. You want everybody to see you a certain way. And God spoke to me one day. He said, Keenan, your reputation is none of your business. He said, your business is your character. It's my responsibility to take care of your reputation. You don't have any business concerning yourself with your reputation. What you need to concern yourself with is your character. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing what I'm trying to tell you? So I want you to understand this. Don't another day in your life try to explain yourself, try to make yourself more clear. Well, if I just explained it to you, no, they don't need an explanation. They've made up in their mind. If somebody's made up something in their mind, let it be. Think about me what you want to think about me. See, until you get to that level, you're not ready for success. You're not ready to prosper. You're not ready to be an influencer and someone who impacts nations because the first idol that has to fall in order for you to be an effective voice for God is the idol of the opinions of man. Until that comes down, you're not ready for the next level. God bless you.